I say this often, but it couldn't. I mean, let me do a head count real quick. 1, 2, 3. I think I got 5 texts after after hitting go live. And like, obviously, I'm happy to hear from people, but it's wild that there's like a lot of radio silence all day. Then the moment I'm just like, well, time to start streaming, everyone's just like, no, fire. So, obviously, in the event that anyone who might have texted me hears this, I do not mind. It's just funny coincidence. But I'm back. Yesterday, pretty bad at work. So I came home, I laid down thinking, you know what, I'll rest for a minute and then I'll be ready for stream. My alarm I set before stream went off. I panicked, tried to get ready for stream, felt like crap, and I was like, can't do this. So I went to bed right after that. And then today was worse. But I managed to stay awake. So it's like, you know. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. I put in for a day off this coming Monday. And I'm glad, because Lord, breaks are good. Everyone needs to take it easy on themselves. Every now and then, I'm sorry, more text. The irony of being like, man, I love to talk to people, the folks that I love, and then the one time where like I would not be available now is the one time everyone is just like, well, that's when I can talk. I should chalk it up to my luck more than anything. But in the meantime, we're gonna go back to working on this. Y'all remember I was doing an Onsta fan art? I'm gonna keep doing that. We did do line art for her face, but here's the thing. I feel like I didn't realize quite how much. I feel like the whole fucking Transformers aesthetic relies on like their certain facial structures and stuff, so not really able to keep Onsta's style in that. Gonna have to go my own way. Lord, I know for this, I don't want to make it seem like, oh my goodness, I'm so old nowadays. If anything, it's more complex than that, because I know there's a certain age of people that, when I talk about staying up for the premiere of High School Musical 2 and 3, they're with me. They know exactly what I'm on about. We're together. But before or after that, they could not begin to comprehend what I'm going on about. They'd be like, the what? What now? You did what for whom? Who is this Troy Bolton? I know Zac Efron. He's my friend. He's my pal. But I don't know about any Troy. I know about Troy the city from ancient Greece. I will say, it is hard to tear myself away from text, given that one of them is Deja texting me about a comics class they're apparently in, which already is like, oh, and then telling me about people having wrong ass opinions. How dare you have a wrong opinion? To clarify the joke, that's an that's an oxymoron. You cannot have a wrong opinion. I feel like that's one joke people do need clarifying. Not every joke, but hello? Oh my goodness. That's not what I want. That's not what I wanted at all. Okay. Yeah. So work's being work, you know how it is. You all know how it is. I will say, there were so many people just acting crazy at work today. Unironically. There was like... I'm not gonna get into all the specific details for many reasons, but there was at least one time where I could not hide my shock as I basically looked at someone being like, "What is wrong with you?" That was the flavor of today's shift, so that's fun. Also, I was looking up some Transformers art. Let me see. I love how, like, Transformers have very boxy body, well, in G1 especially, but they have like boxy bodies, they have a boxy nose and boxy eyes, but they have defined limbs. Maybe that was one of the parts of like the toy mold, you know, when they were making Transformers and they were kind of like, all right, well, we gotta make the molds for these toys to be produced in, and they're repurposing some older stuff. They get to the mouth and they're just like, I don't fucking a mouth. Make it a mouth. Listen, we already have perfectly good lip design thanks to our Kissy Ken line. I say we just keep that. And that's what they threw on a Megatron. Absolute tyrant. Incredibly kissable lips. That's what Optimus has always said about Megatron. We know that much to be true. I wonder when. I remember seeing a while ago, after getting into She-Ra Princesses of Power, someone posting on an old message board about making She-Ra's, as in like the 80s version, romance interest Catra. And obviously that happened. But I wonder when the first instance of people being like, well, I mean, Megatron and Optimus need to kiss. If nothing else, is Masters of the Universe not also Hasbro? Have they allowed, you know, one of their franchises to join the Alphabet Mafia while still being like, no, not Transformers, because yes, Transformers. Heck, I feel like I rarely see people so unite. I feel there's so little in way of fan agreement as there is with people saying Optimus and Megatron need to kiss. One of the most universally shared opinions in popular culture. We're still gonna give her eyebrows. I don't know if this would just be paint, if they'd be usable. Yeah. Now we're talking. Actually, wait. Yeah, the eyebrows do help. I just need to make it. I gotta place them and draw them. I gotta come correct. I need to bring my sketchbook to work tomorrow. I keep thinking about how it's like I gave up doing full illustrations for the book I'm making because I have not because even when I'm trying to work on it through work, I'm not given enough time, privacy, what have you, to make drawings I'm super happy with, at least in terms of making something for a story I'm trying to tell. But in terms of doing like little line art, fan arts and everything, that I kind of want to do at work and stuff. Especially because I've had some fun ideas rattling around in my head. So it's like... Well, so speaking of, I was going through a whole bunch of stuff today at work, trying to figure out shit for the book. Seeing if there are other, maybe better platforms I can release and publish on, but that's not really... no. I have had trouble, safe to say. So in case anyone sees me put it out on like Kindle and what have you, and they're like, were there not better options? I can assure you, not really. None that I could find, anyway. Listen, if everyone says, well, you could have put it on and then list like a platform that lets you self-publish that I thought maybe no one would care to actually read anything on, then that's on me. I clearly I did not know my audience, and that's fair. But for right now, I think that's the one most people are going to actually be able to be like, oh yeah, I use that. It's that balance you gotta strike, you know? Thing that lets you actually make stuff, a la something like YouTube or what have you, versus stuff everyone actually uses to consume media, a la YouTube. That's why YouTube is so dominant for the longest time, even though it continues to fuck up, among other things. Is that it's like it's easy to put something on YouTube, and everyone watches stuff on YouTube. So, oh, that's the wrong reference sheet. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let me shrink this, because I think it would be a cool idea to have it so that because a lot of the G1 Transformers I keep looking at has a lot of like motion lines, some of which are implying their transformation from vehicles and what have you. So with that in mind, I can use that here. Also, give me one sec. Oh, I just remembered something else too. So many things to do. So little time. Sega Hornet. 41, you got it. That's the car owns to want it to be. That's the least I can do is make sure I get some of the details right. Also, I did forget. I should have added this on her car mode. I hope everyone else out there is having a good Tuesday. Like I said, I'm just tired from work shenanigans and people being people. I was thinking at work, I was like, man, it is no doubt safe to say that if if there's one reason I hope my book does well, it is so that I have the possibility to not worry about people-centric jobs for too much longer. For infinity, at least. You know? So... honestly, we'll start by laying out some straight lines here. Hello? Let me put down my thing. Both because I can kind of see this being a bunch of straight lines, and also because, I mean, even though I've chosen a real model of car, the one Onsta was giddy for is a fake polygonal car. So it's like I'm sure a more striking resemblance is all good. Asia continues to send me wild things from their class. Fun times. I don't miss school. I can say that much. I don't care if classes are fun on occasion. I even when work is crazy and a bunch of other stuff, I'm like, yeah, but I get paid to be here. I don't get paid to be in school, and it causes similar kinds of stress. Among which, amongst is the fact that I'm not making any money. Any financial stress is only exasperated in a school hall, as opposed to when you're actually working and it's like, well, I'm at work. So fingers crossed this will help with the money thing. Zaid, I don't know what line you came in on. I swear to you, I haven't lost all my money on the ponies or the race cars. I was just talking about school versus work.
I believe you.
Zaid! Zaid! Marvel Rivals!
Marvel Rival.
How many Thor MVPs did you get?
I haven't played a lot of Thor. I was trying Groot out this time.
Yeah. You want to know something? Similar to other work talk. Usually I wouldn't make fun of someone for this, but Marvel Rivals has not been out that long. I saw a video of someone queuing for Marvel Rivals, and one of their rando teammates just started flashing Lord PFPs for basically every character. Like, they went through all the healers for, yeah, and and a lot of the comments were just like, unemployment final boss, and I was like, I mean, yeah, unironically, yeah, kind of, because I don't even know how you would do that.
I mean, unless they're like a kid too, like,
yeah.
If they were
but even then,
they came out during Christmas break, so they would have had a good amount of time to do some stuff.
Even then, though, I'd be concerned because, like,
can't afford that, but
with the I cannot stress, it probably was at least 10 characters in that video alone I saw that they had like Lord profiles for, and I was like, that even if it's like, no, I'm actually doing pretty well. I don't have to leave the house for like a job or anything, but I'm fine. Like, but I'd still be just like, yeah, but dude, please. I mean, like, eat or something. go eat at least,
I mean, if you were like solo streaming that game, then I could see it.
Yeah. Maybe
that's what it was.
Even there, I don't know. I really, even in a direction of, well, actually, I play games for a living, and Marvel Rivals is my recent thing, I would still be like, I'm still concerned. For a lot of reasons, I'm concerned that you have just an egregious amount of profile of Lord profile. So, are you still?
I'm getting close. I'm getting close with Loki.
Oh, that's good. Was
it too soon?
Have you had any fun Loki plays as of recent, where you steal a good ult and what have you, steal a fun character?
I haven't done too much of that, but I mean, I did get up to Gold 1 pretty much playing exclusively Loki, because every time I would get into a match at my Gold 2 rank, I was someone auto-picked Cloak and Dagger, who was my main. So. Yeah. So I would just go Loki instead.
I was about to ask if you keep. I mean, from what I can tell, you're like, no, I like it, but I was about to ask if you kept getting forced into healer on your stream and what have you.
So. I like healing. I like healing in this game.
Yeah.
Because you feel really strong as long as you're not getting decimated.
Yeah. I will say, so I remember seeing someone being like, man, I like Marvel Rivals more, but I miss X Overwatch character, and it was a specific one, but I'm not gonna say just because I don't really remember their name, and I don't feel like getting that. But I miss Zenyatta, so I like Zenyatta.
Oh, yeah.
Zenyatta and Tracer, those are my faves, and I wish they deserved better. If nothing else, those two characters deserve better. So.
Yeah, I mean, you do have like 3 characters in Marvel Rivals who have a Zenyatta ult. So.
I mean, well, no, I miss Zenyatta. I miss both of them for like character design, writing, yada. But also just Zenyatta in his fucking kung fu shooting steel balls at people, and I'm like, yeah. So. I thought he was a fun time for that.
A robot all about peace put into a game all about killing people.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, from Overwatch 1 days, which I mean technically we're still in Overwatch 1 days, but he was there because he was just like, yeah, I like peace, but I'm willing to kill some people if I need to. There were definitely far more pacifistic characters in what little they wrote for that game. So he was.
Yeah, I mean, because like even Torbjorn was like didn't really want to fight much anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Does anyone really want to fight? The answer is yes, but we can. Why don't we just kill those fucking people? Is that
the
fucking?
Answer is unfortunately, yes.
What is the thing, I was trying to find that quote a while ago, because I was like, isn't there like a comedian or something? But I could not find it. Maybe because of Google's aversion to the word kill, but, it is what it is, so. What's the thing? I have so many games I want to play. Marvel Rivals is definitely still among them, so.
I feel you. Well, I was gonna do Marvel Rivals into Sea of Thieves, and then like I had we got a fort stack, and I was like, I don't want to stop.
Don't let me abandon my new friends. I have unfortunately dropped Sea of Thieves for a lot of reasons. Not because the game was worse, but just for other unrelated reasons to like game quality and stuff like that. Well, I feel like one of them being just like I want to play a lot of games, and I don't necessarily have the most time for all of them. And see, Marvel Rivals, you can really just be like, I'm going to play a match, and you will be done in like 10 minutes. But Sea of Thieves is just like, I need a way to spend my day. So, time to go treasure hunting and stuff. So, but goodness knows, I do like pirating, so.
It's just such a relaxing game, except when it's not.
Oh, yeah. I feel ya. The thing, I feel like that was me with Pikmin, because I feel like a lot of when I finally played the first Pikmin, I feel like there's a lot of elements of that game where it's like, well, I shouldn't find this relaxing at all, but I did. I was like, I'm just gonna chill out and play some Pikmin right now, hang out with my friend Olimar and his many carrot-themed buddies. So.
Yep, that die rapidly, but at least it's not me dying rapidly.
Exactly. So. They're fine. There's probably like some kind of reincarnation business with these.
Yeah, they get prophetic into the soil.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, fucking, they do it regardless of if I'm there. So the fact that they're helping me get my car back together is, you know, at least it's given some purpose behind it all. What have you? So. Listen, if it's like Pikmin die regardless, or Pikmin die and I get my ship back, then I'd probably better Pikmin die and I get my ship back. So
as long as they're willing, as long as like they can just let me grab them and throw them.
Exactly.
Do that. You know?
Are they truly doing anything else? It really didn't seem like it. So they just hang out in their onions. Delicious onions. I don't eat onions. I like some French onion soup, but we've had that discussion on stream where it's like, I like French onion soup, but when it's mostly just kind of broth. I don't want a bunch of onion chunks in it. And my friends are
so good though.
Well, the other people in our friend Discord were like, keep the onions good. And I was like, well, guess what? If I like the soupy parts of the soup, and which is, I mean, that is the correct adjective there, and you like the chunkier parts of the soup, then you get the chunkier parts, I get the soup parts, and we all leave happy. And they're like, that's a good point. And I'm like, yeah, shut up. So.
What if I like exactly 50%?
Then we start by giving the people who want chunky parts, like the thickest parts of the soup. You get when we're about halfway through, you get that 50-50, and after that's done, I get the part that has like little solid bits in it, and then mostly broth. So you don't think I know how to do this, Zaid? I've been a picky eater my whole life. I'll do this math on you real quick. So it's a hard life out here when your body demands you not eat something you don't just love eating. So
yeah. Is it a texture thing for you, or is it a flavor thing for you?
It's an everything thing for me.
Okay.
If any part of the vibes are off on a piece of food, my body goes, well, you need to vomit, right? You need to vomit now, actually, more than you've ever needed to vomit. And I'd be like, why? This is a perfectly acceptable piece of lasagna from what I know about lasagna. And they're like, well, no, because like just a little bit of it was not great for you, and now you're scarred forever.
Some of this noodle is too soft, and some of this noodle is crunchy. I don't understand.
Ironically, like tough noodles have not put me off on noodles, but you know those are noodles, so it's like,
yeah.
What are you really not gonna eat one of the most accessible?
Noodles.
Yeah, exactly. Most accessible, most eatable foods of all time? I don't think so. So
most eatable.
Most eatable.
Most eatable. Those noodles all over the place.
I do talk about throwing spaghetti at the wall a lot, but regardless, delicious spaghetti. I love me a penne pasta. Penne on top.
Good.
Penne's good. Penne is great for mac and cheese. Does it? Unironically?
In Spanish, unironically, yeah. Not in Italian.
I mean, well, they're close enough. I was thinking about that because I heard someone at work be like, you speak Spanish? They're like, no, Portuguese. And I'm like, well, tomato. I've heard
they're quite different.
I know, but I've heard enough fucking Portuguese words, and it's like, also, that's just the Spanish word. And I'm just like, okay, well, fucking, y'all can probably talk, you can talk to each other pretty easily, I imagine, actually. So, always focusing on what makes us different. But what about what makes us the same, you know?
The blood running through our veins.
Exactly. We all bleed red except for that guy, who scares me like a little bit, so...
Yeah, that guy breeds chartreuse that I don't understand.
I wasn't even really sure what chartreuse was before I saw him bleeding, and then I was like, well, that definitely is the color labeled chartreuse, so... Wasn't that the Monsters Inc. joke where it's like, chartreuse? Oh, that's chartreuse. When he's going back to pick up the... What's it called? The like files and everything, and then...
Oh, yeah.
He finds a child. Yeah. As we are all so wont to do every now and then, random, just occasionally finding a child.
I don't want to do that. I would rather never find a child.
Zaid gets surprised.
Unless the child is a cat.
Child upon. I was literally thinking, I was like, I need to ask Zaid how Rummy's doing. So, how's Rummy doing?
She's doing good.
That's good.
She's probably a little bored.
Aw, poor baby.
Get them more toys or stuff.
Oh my gosh, Zaid, it's not often, like, I would send, like, you for, like, you have a cat, but I'm not just gonna send you all cat stuff. But,
yeah,
there is a cat online I've fallen in love with, which I need everyone to see, because it's a dwarf cat, and they have a deformity, which would be bad, except they're wildly adorable because of it. Their name is Jiggy, and they're just an orb. They're so round. They're just so entirely round, and they waddle everywhere because, again, deformity, but it's still so cute. So their cat parents bought them a Kirby bed, so now they sleep in their Kirby bed. I love all of it.
Oh, that's cute. That's
yeah.
Cute.
I demand everyone witness this cat more. Zay, do you know anything about Transformers? Have you ever been into that or no?
I watched the Michael Bay movie.
Oh, well, that's probably not very like, just you said movie.
The first one.
I was about to say.
One, yeah. I think I was drugged to the second one too, actually.
I think.
And I've watched a little bit of the cartoon, but never like
the G1 cartoon and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Like I saw like an episode here and there, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Gotcha. I mean, I'm
almost done with the 90s X-Men, but I know that's not relevant to this conversation.
I mean, it's relevant enough. It's it's a older animated property that many people fell in love with, especially in like the 80s and what have you. So,
it is wild to me that the last. So like I'm watching it, I'm finally on the last season of the original 90s X-Men, and it's like the last 11-ish episodes of the last season. Are like, they look entirely different. They're like way better animated. They must have known they were getting canceled and they put all their money into it or something. It's just like, they're like way better animated, the storylines are better.
And is this the one that was, and are you talking about the one that was continued as X-Men 97 recently?
97,
yeah. So.
Which that's why I'm watching it, because I want to watch 97, but I wanted to watch the 90s one first.
Our shared friend Ian, who, isn't necessarily the biggest comics guy, he watched X-Men and X-Men 97 recently, and he raved about it, so. I never got into him. I watched Wolverine and the X-Men as a kid, which was slightly different. Like, I think I saw some episodes of the 97 anime. In fact, I remember in particularly, like, seeing both of the episodes where Rogue gets introduced in, like, both of the different cartoons and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Oh yeah.
And then
for like her backstory episode, yeah.
Well, because like Rogue in like 97, like, she's just like regular old Rogue. Rogue in Wolverine and the X-Men, she's like a goth. She's like actually, and that's the other thing. Yeah. And the other thing about Wolverine and the X-Men is what was I just thinking of? Damn it. Oh yeah, it's like the X-Men were a thing, and then Charles Xavier.
And then they became the X-Men.
Yeah, because Charles Xavier is dead. Oh, that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
Which is why it's Wolverine and the X-Men, because fucking Cyclops is wickedly depressed, and they're like, well, we need someone else to lead the team, because he's drunk off his ass most of this child's television show.
Is Jean gone too? Is that the reason?
Yes, actually, I do believe Jean is gone as well. But then you have things where it's like Rogue wasn't there yet, so she's there, and then like the whole, I think it's like 2 seasons that one is. So the whole thing is basically Days of Future Past, because what's it called? Professor X starts being like, hey, I'm not dead. I'm in the future. Things suck here. Things are really bad. So we need to start working on this.
There's so much time travel in the 90s X-Men show.
Yes. Well, that was just the X-Men. X-Men are like either fighting for civil rights or getting caught up in some real deep sci-fi nonsense. So pick your poison. Would you like a space goddess or would you like a racist? Pick one. Pick one now. or the occasional space racist, which is, you know, that's a whole. I don't know if Mojo is Mojo in that show. Does he
Mojo.
count?
Mojo has 2 episodes in the 90s show, yeah.
Would he count as a racist considering he is just like, I'm going to use you for sport? And they're like, well, we didn't agree to this at all, so.
I don't think he's a racist. I think he's just a generally all-around bad individual.
Yeah.
I mean, he's supposed to just be like a capitalist.
So, he could be a bit of both, honestly, for being
he's
wildly
just supposed to be
honest.
like a TV producer, like literally is a parody of a TV producer.
Which is fun because the TV producer had to sign off on that. But they do that all the time. They're just like, haha, I wonder what this one's about, and it's about them. So,
yeah,
always fun. There's a thing.
It's so weird to be in the 90s X-Men because Rogue the entire time has Captain Marvel's powers.
Yeah, I forget if, because I mean, Rogue's powers is always
not her energy projection, but just her strength and her flight.
Yeah. Well, does she still have I touch you and die and I get your powers?
Yeah, she still has all that.
Yeah, but then she gets flight. I forget because I remember it's like that just started happening at one point, which is the same with Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman originally just glided because she had gliders on her costume and everything, but now she just flies. And I forget if Rogue got that specifically from the cartoon or if like a similar thing in the comics happened where they started making it that Rogue could fly because of extenuating circumstances, and then it became like the default, which is not correct.
Yeah, I mean, she flew for the entirety of the 90s cartoon, so that's probably where that came from.
Mayhaps.
But
have you ever seen? Because again, everyone is always going like 90s Spider-Man and X-Men. Guess what? Didn't watch either of those as a kid. I'm so sorry to tell you that. But have you ever seen Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Zayd, or no?
Yes.
Okay. That show fucks. That show rocks. So that show has the best Avengers, some of the best Spider-Man, some of the best Fantastic Four. They did it all, and now it's better than the MCU just in terms of quality over quantity.
Well, so, it just sucks that it got canceled because of the MCU.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
It's such a sucky thing to do. It's like, well, we could have these 2 split universes, but no, we're gonna make a new cartoon that's in the MCU or like closer to the MCU.
And it's not like that's what they're trying to cash in on now is multiple universes. That would never happen. So
no, there wasn't a whole Loki show about that. Or
yeah, exactly. So, oh well.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just good we got what we got and it was as good as it was, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the best depictions of Captain America, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, straight up.
It's one of the best depictions of the Avengers, I feel, because, like...
Yeah, just in general, yeah.
Just with shifting teammates and always being just, like, Avengers and, like, heck yeah, so... And to me, like, what was I thinking of? To me, I don't know if X-Men 97 could fit in that show. Probably not, because it's already connected to the other Spider-Man show, and actually that whole thing, the whole 90s universe is its own thing in Marvel, isn't it?
I guess so, yeah.
But to me, Spectacular Spider-Man and Earth's Mightiest Heroes are just the same universe, because like Spider-Man shows up for like a few episodes, and there's honestly no reason it can't just be the same Spider-Man that's in Spectacular. Like, I mean, it's voiced by Drake Bell instead of Josh Keaton, but you know, semantics. So it's an animated appearance, all right. So, and in that one, and in that the appearances he does have, he's working at the Bugle, which is not a thing in Ultimate Spider-Man where Drake Bell is the main voice. So it's like that can't be right either. Oh my goodness, pig and meat and parrots. Oh, delicious parrots. Hello, Zayd is hanging out with us because I love Zayd, and he finished Marvel, and then we started talking about Marvel stuff. Business monkey. Maybe I should watch the X-Men 9 because
Business monkey.
So, one second, let me find a good parrot to watch. Yeah. I know what Pig was doing. They're getting sad about moms, but let me give them a shout out because everyone should be following Pig. Thank you for the raid.
3 mothers, in fact.
Three mothers. Well, I mean, no, not after the first. Not after your intro. Not even one, even. So. Oh, hey, wait. Oh, I can't. Damn it! I was gonna be like, I wanted to be like, hey, let me say this thing, but I think it technically counts as spoil. There's definitely someone who's gonna get butthurt over this when I talk about a minor character appearance in, Mother 3. So I can't say that. I just have to keep.
I just would, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself.
I just have to keep not saying it. I can't have an open discussion about this one thing I know about the Mother franchise, because people are just gonna be like, "Hey, wait a minute," and I'm like, "Damn it, damn." So, oh well.
Gosh darn it.
Damn you, Kale, spoiling a game that will never get properly released in the West. How could you do this and has been out for 30 years? I can't believe you would do this to me.
You sure didn't, Greg.
I was thinking of. Oh yeah, I was gonna. Back when I started comics, I was really into Spider-Man and the X-Men. And in particular, I was reading an omnibus my dad had of like the original X-Men, which was fun. I guess not the original X-Men. It was after like their soft reboot. But also, I was into the stuff that happened after Avengers vs. X-Men, which I've heard mixed things about upon growing up and having the internet, yada yada yada. I liked it. But after that happened, Cyclops was an outlaw because he did a bunch of real fucked up stuff because he was mourning his dead wife, who was dead for a while now. It is the series that introduced me to Magic, and I want to read more stuff with Magic. I need to track that down because Magic fucking rocks. So, you know, I mean, you've been playing Marvel Rivals, so you know Magic. Zayd.
I know Magic.
She's not in 97, is she?
I have no. Well, I haven't. 97's technically the Disney Plus show.
Oh, you're right.
90s X-Men.
90s X-Men.
No, I don't think she shows. No, she's not in there at all.
Colossus is though, right?
Yeah, Colossus is in there for like 4 episodes.
What?
Because the main cast never changes. Like the main cast of characters never changes.
And that's what Wolverine, Storm, Cyclops, Rogue. Is it Gambit? Okay.
Yeah, it's Gambit. Yeah.
And then I don't know who else.
Beast.
Oh, that I should have said that.
Yeah, Professor X. And then Morph is there occasionally. Morph is a character made specifically for the show because they were going to kill him off, and then he became a fan favorite, and they couldn't do that anymore.
And now he's got the hots for Wolverine, and honestly, I hope that happens at some point. So, go Morph. I'm cheering you on. Yeah,
in the 90s cartoon, like Wolverine really cares for Morph a lot. Like he's always trying to chase him down and getting back on the team. So,
listen, I wouldn't blame him for being like, no, I've died several times. So,
every time he's introduced, he's like, oh, you're back on the team, you're gonna be back on the team, and then it's like, actually, I need to go back to therapy.
That wildly understandable. But that's here's the thing. Apparently, from what I've seen of modern day X-Men, Scott Summers, Cyclops, is like, hey, fuck Professor X, he's a dickhead. And he's not the only one to have thought that over the years. But, I mean, you know, child soldiers who were going there for school originally, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame anyone for being like, no, actually, I need therapy instead, at this point. Yeah. So...
Well, I think, at least in the 90s cartoon, the only child is Jubilee.
Gotcha.
So... And Jubilee is a...
That's Wicked, not the case in the original, in the source material.
Yeah, I know. I think they didn't want to do that with the television show for some reason. I wonder why.
Well, I mean, it gives a little more weight to some of the arguments Magneto makes, so it's kind of worked out over the years, because as Magneto has become one of the more reasonable characters, which literally Pig was in my Discord talking about before, it's like, well, yeah, actually... Now that you mention it, Xavier getting child soldiers, not great. So maybe he did have a point. So.
Well, it's such a wild journey he goes on in the 90s show too, because he literally does just become like, I just want to protect mutants actually.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an asshole anymore.
Well, that's what I was talking to Pig about, right? It's like, originally, I think part of the reason Magneto was a villain is because he was shown as the far extreme of Professor X, who, you know, to writer's credit, is his own far extreme of just like, well, it's probably okay if a few mutants die, as long as we're not killing people, you know, that kind of stuff. But meanwhile, Magneto was like, well, I think a cool solution to our issues right now would be genocide, actually. And everyone's like, well, that can't be it. that surely can't be the case. So
yeah, Magneto definitely does start there, and then
he
becomes
exactly. So like that's why he was a villain initially, and it's like no, it works really great for his character arc to be like, well, no, maybe okay, fine, maybe I was wrong. Damn it, damn it, I wanted to, but fine.
It's funny too, because he's not the only like X-Men villain who wants to just make the whole world mutants, because there's also Mr. Sinister who wants the exact same thing. I thought Mr. Sinister, I haven't seen a lot of Mr. Sinister in general ever. I was just gonna say, I just thought his thing was being, a mutant, but also just generally unethical scientist. Just constantly doing unethical science, so. Yes, and then in the 90s show, his other shtick is like he wants to create a mutant super race, essentially, and then basically he wants mutants to rule the world.
Is that Apocalypse too, given his whole god deal, or nah?
Kind of, yes.
Kind of.
I mean, I think Apocalypse just wouldn't mind the world ending in general. But
well, I mean, that's his name, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all three of them are kind of just like mutants only.
So.
Just different ways of going about it.
Yeah, wildly different ways. I was also talking to Pig, because this is another thing in Wolverine and X-Men. I forget if it is called Krakoa in the in that show. I don't even know if it's in the 90s show.
Not as far as I've got to know. There's been Meteor M, but there hasn't been Krakoa.
Yeah, the island nation for mutants, which I don't know if it moves, but when I read it in the comics, it was in San Francisco, so there's something. But in like they do an arc with that, and in that, like fucking Magneto has prison camps, because there's some mutants who are just like, I don't really like how things are going around here, and he just keeps them in a prison. So like that's given one reason. It's like, hey, maybe Magneto's not the coolest guy. And then I remember this episode for the longest time, Genosha. That actually, yes, that might be it. That might be Magneto's specific island.
Genosha's anti-mutant.
Is it? I don't know. It's a soap opera over there. Let's be real.
Genosha enslaves mutants.
But what was I thinking of?
They manage mutants, as they like to say, but they wear slave collars. So.
But like that in that like arc of Wolverine and the X-Men, like we see it through Nightcrawler's eyes, because he's kind of left the team and he's doing his own thing. And then I remember the episode specifically where he gets off, because, he's Nightcrawler, and he's like, well, I will simply teleport off the island. And they're like, we are in the middle of the ocean. I don't know how you're going to do that. And then he does a thing where he teleports 5 feet, and then, reappears. And then he teleports 5 feet, and then he reappears. And he just keeps doing that until he's crossed the ocean, which, doesn't go great for him, but he does get off the island, so.
Yeah, I mean, that must be exhausting.
Yeah. Nightcrawler rules. Everyone loves Nightcrawler, so. I loved Nightcrawler as a kid.
It's so funny in the 90s show. Like, I mean, he's an adult in the 90s show for starters. And then it's also just like, I don't know if they were like told they needed to interject God, or if that's just, it's just like, that is part of his character, right?
That is his character, yes.
Yeah. So it is just funny every time he shows up, but there's always a discussion about God.
Religion.
Like, I mean, sure, I understand, but like, it's just like wild. That's
more a detail. I feel like that's more a detail of his character than a, something that comes up every time he's there. But can't be helped when you're the 90s. So.
Yeah, well, because he talks to like Wolverine, right? He's like, you need to seek God.
You need
again.
some.
And he's like,
I
tried that, bub, and then he actually does go to the cathedral at the end of the episode.
And then he does the Eddie Brock thing where he prays for someone to die, and then he gets a symbiote, so... Oh my lord! Who was I just remembered. The guy who did the 90s voice for Spider-Man. I saw him on a video, and he was showing off, like, his different roles. And he did someone else, and I remember it struck me, because, like, the clip they did for Spider-Man was him screaming about Shocker. So I was like, oh my gosh, he did both those voices, but I completely forget what it is now. So I'm just a moron. There goes that thought out my mind, so...
You're not a moron, it's just
I'm
it's
a
hard
moron.
to keep names in your head. I think personally it's hard to keep names in your head.
It is. Names are hard. There's
What's
so
your
many
name?
of them.
I'm just kidding.
What's my name? Fuck it,
Yeah,
mine
that's a
now.
joke.
No, it's not. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? What are you even say? See what you
Boron
did?
is an element. I don't know what... Yeah.
The biggest thing I know about boron is that it burns green. Which I feel like I was in part told to me because they're like, and that's what they use for Harry Potter. And now I'm just like, well, fuck Harry Potter. So what do I care? Truly. Also, Sega.
Boron, more like bore off. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Boron, more like. More like
nuts.
I think boron is found in. I learned what not too long. I think boron's in chlorite, which I learned what that was for the first time not too long ago, and I was like, wow, that's weird and wildly dangerous apparently. So, is boron radioactive? I have no idea.
I don't know either.
There's definitely I do know that like you get to a certain point counting up on the periodic table and it's like everything from here on out is radioactive, but I forget when that is, so I wouldn't be able to tell you what is and what is not.
That's that one song by Imagine Dragons, so...
They used it for the sex scenes in Arcane. Oh no! They were finally having Lesbian Lex on a show, and then Radioactive started playing and everyone left. I don't get it. Why don't they like it? We spent $250 million on this. Speaking
I love that song. I love that song.
Radioactive.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with Imagine Dragons.
I know you're not actually.
Yeah. I like the meme of...
It was played in like every commercial.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
for the next
that's
3 years.
It is a fun. It is a fine song, as I say, as someone who has no taste in music. But it is infinitely elevated by the meme of "Welcome to hyper-specific radio station." Anyway, here's Radioactive. That that was a lasting legacy of that song. And you want to know something? It was the best legacy it could possibly leave behind.
Well, I think that's the song that made them realize they could just do commercial music. That they do a lot of it now, or do a lot of it for like shows and stuff like that. So, I mean, hey, if you're making bank, you're making bank.
Exactly. Get that? I'm not gonna stop them. Lord knows that.
Get that dollar.
If I could, someone. I shouldn't say that, but I was just gonna say like. Someone was asking me book stuff, and I was like, "Ha, no one wants to work with me. If someone was paying me to make, just random stuff, whenever I felt like it, then I'd be like, yeah, I'll do. Yeah, sure, works for me." So I've not been commissioned for commercial work, and I'm not really doing commissions in general right now. But
yeah.
I feel like there's a difference. As I was saying that, I was like, oh, people are gonna start being like, are you open for commissions? And I'll be like, no. And they're like, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, well, I feel like there's a difference between like, getting a commission online and whatever the fuck Imagine Dragons is up to. So, I don't know what that difference is, but I would know it when I see it. I thought, you know what the difference is? The difference is Imagine Dragons makes a song, and then people license it out. Whereas if I were to do a commission, they'd be like, I'd want this super specific thing. So that is almost certainly the difference. You don't just
Yeah,
make
yeah.
a general thing and then people pay you for that. So
Yep.
definitely sounds fun though. I'm glad you guys are having a fun time over there, Imagine Dragons. Keep it up, guys. Zaid, are you excited for anything this week?
This week?
This week. This
I
upcoming
mean,
week.
I'm always excited for Lethal Company Wednesday.
Heck yeah. I feel like I got something I can play games on recently. I forget what it was. It definitely wasn't a PC, but that was my point. I was like, I haven't played Lethal Company in a long time. Probably because like I don't really have a machine that really works for it, so
Yeah.
I should get a PC at one point, but not anytime soon, that's for sure. I might not
Sunday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Man, they're gonna take away my being born in Philly birth certificate because I don't know when Groundhog Day is.
Yeah,
I'll be
Pakistan. That's the wrong word.
Yep,
Whatever his name is.
Pakistani Phil, good old Pakistani Phil, coming out of his groundhog hole, waving the Pakistani Phil. Go on. You just said it. What are you talking about? You're being so weird right now. It's Punxsutawney.
No, Punxsutawney.
Yeah, I remember that because I was trying to think of the name of a Bugs Bunny cartoon earlier, and
That
I
is
thought
the weirdest way to spell that name too.
I don't think that's actually spelled. Yeah, you didn't spell it. Yeah, it did. You didn't spell it right, Paula. But if anyone would have you like accountable for that, then they're the asshole.
It's really
so-
close, Paula.
Yeah,
that's
it is
the
more.
correct spelling.
It is Punxsutawney. Is oh, did you look it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, why the fuck would there be an S in there?
Why is there an X then an S then a U? Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those where I talk about this so often. It's one of those words where when I see it written on paper, there's not a sound in my head. There's static because I see the word. I know the word. I'm like, it's that one word. But since I'm not like reading it out loud or anything, I'm just like, it's it's just a vibe in my head, and that's all it needs to be until I read it out loud. So
Where's that game come from?
I don't know. Look it up. What was I just
Look it
thinking of?
up.
Honestly, the only reason, I feel like the biggest reason I know about Punxsutawney Phil, specifically him, obviously I know about Groundhog Day, the holiday, but like the groundhog it's named after, is because there's a lottery in Philadelphia and their mascot is a groundhog, and he's like, I'm the second most famous groundhog in Pennsylvania. And I'm like, that's a stupid thing to make your mascot, actually, but
No, yeah, that's what I thought, Craig. And I was looking up, and it is correct. Yeah, it's not spelled that way normally, obviously, but it means the town of the sandflies.
honestly, I just kind of want to leave this simple line art, and then I can paint it all metallic and what have you. I have no
I like how it
desire.
says it's a Native American for, but it's like that.
It's just a word.
There was a lot of different tribes. Which one specific?
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, they don't bother doing that. They don't bother
Looks like
teaching
the
it in
Lenape.
history class or fucking anything.
Lenape Indian tribe.
Nap?
Native American tribe. Lenape. Lenape.
Oh, okay. Native American pirates.
Unami language.
And that would be cool as hell.
Unami language. Gotcha. I learned something. Whether I will remember it at all is a whole different thing.
I've been trying to look up. So I'm making a card game, right? And naturally, that means I have to write a Silmarillion about it and create a lot of lore, okay? Because you can't create a card game otherwise, right?
Yeah, sure.
Unless you tie it into ancient civilizations and create an entirely alternative history around it, then you can't, then, like, what's even the point of making a card game?
Yeah.
So I've been trying to do a lot of research. First off, it might surprise you to know, there's not a lot of information on ancient Sumerian names. Second off, I have been like, is this considered appropriation? I don't think so, especially because I'm pretty sure most of these cultures don't exist anymore. Like they've gone, not extinct. That's not the word for it, but you know, but there's not a Sumer isn't a country, and I don't think anyone would be like, I am from Sumer. Like that's not a thing. But I've been trying to look it up and get some things correct, and then fantasize some other thing. Well, I'm mostly using names more than anything else because, like I said, completely alternate history. I'm trying to do some Tolkien stuff, but I'm not making a whole fake language, which is where he got like the elf names from. And I'm like, well, no, not that. There's probably is one, Greg.
I'm sure, yeah.
Give me one. Now let me see if I know how to do space. Probably not, but you know, space. Sumeria is, I think, or was. Let me look up Sumeria.
I just looked it up. Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. There is a region called Sumer.
Honest, I share it with you because literally all I'm doing is I'm trying to look for names that might have existed at a certain time period, so that way I can then, you know, assign those names to different important characters throughout the history, yada yada yada. So that way there's some kind of cohesion, etc. But of course my little paranoia brain is just like, what if this makes people angry? And I'm like, oh no, you're right. What if it makes people angry that I'm naming things? And so, always a fun time with that.
Persia? Persia doesn't exist anymore.
I was looking at, here's the thing, I was looking at...
Yeah, no, it's Iran now.
I was looking at Persian names, but when I was looking at timeline for ancient civilization, I started looking at stuff around 4000 BC and like 0 BC. So I had Sumerian, Egyptians, and Greeks. Yeah, Persia comes like on the very tail end of that, to the point where I was like, that's so much late. 0 BCE is so much later. You know, that's not vintage. So Persian is a Pokemon. Oh, also I love my computer freezing up as I try to use a certain brush. That'll go well.
Persian's also a type of cat.
Well, I think that's probably what the fucking Pokemon is named after.
Yeah, exactly.
But do we know that for sure?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure we know that for sure.
Have you asked? I always forget his name. Who's the main art guy behind like Gen 1 Pokemon?
Sugimori.
Yes. There you go.
Ken Sugimori. I love that Ken is a Japanese name. I just love it.
It is fun. I'm
sure it's like his name is longer than that, but
I've been doing my best to remember.
Oh, that's his full name.
Takahashi's name, the guy who did Yu-Gi-Oh! Because legitimately, I love old Yu-Gi-Oh! Art, and I mean, honestly, that probably features more in that series than it does in Pokemon, given the nature of even making a fake card game. That wasn't a real card game to start out, fake card game, but still, you know.
Yeah.
Still see a lot of the drawings and what have you, so.
I play Pots of Greed.
But yeah, he drew that. He drew that thing. And then everyone was like, haha, funny man. And he was like, yes. Was it?
Okay, well, unfortunately, Kale, I must away because I need to eat dinner.
Have a good dinner. I will miss you. Goodbye.
I wanted to pop in and talk for
a bit. Yeah, I like talking to you. Feel free to do so at any time. Goodbye.
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 Have a good one, chat. Have a good stream. Bye.
So yeah. Honestly, I also miss it. Yeah, honestly, naming stuff in fiction is hard. Especially when you know, you have like Did You Know Gaming. Like, did you know this name also means that? And then you as the author have to be like, I didn't actually know that. I was unaware of that. Somewhat unfortunate trivia fact when I named my character. You could always go the Sonic the Hedgehog route and name your military organization Gun. And I mean, like, who doesn't love Gun, if we're being real here? It's just, I just thought it'd be a little more subtle than that. I think I've said this before. Gun definitely stands for something. I don't fucking care to find out what it is. Just good old Gun to me. It's also very funny that that Shadow and Rouge are Gun age. It's funny that Shadow and Rouge, Shadow, anthropomorphic hedgehog, who is 60 plus years old, has been scarred over his lifetime thanks to wildly tragic events by this organization, even now works for and with them. And then Rouge, a kleptomaniac anthropomorphic bat whose main characteristic is her sex appeal. They are both government agents. And they fucking, and I guess they have like W-2s and tax forms. Like probably, right? Who do you think handles Shadow the Hedgehog's payroll? Honestly, I feel like that's probably what dropped the ball in some part when it came to like Sonic Forces. Cause like they're like, yeah, other anthropomorphic animals basically never been a thing in the Sonic games. Like, yeah, the comics and stuff, but the Sonic games clearly started steering in the direction of like, no, most other living things are like humans and stuff. And honestly, it would have been much more fun seeing Gun and the President fight Eggman than a bunch of random furry designs they cooked up. Because that's the other thing, right? It's like, it's not like they've tried very hard with like the background characters of Sonic Forces. That's definitely part of it. Previously, if you saw a anthropomorphic character in a Sonic game, it was one they had poured a lot of craft into, trying to make it as marketable as possible. But in Forces, it's just like, I don't, it's a bird, probably. We needed several default birds, both for group shots and character creation. Oh, you guys get it, right? So that was definitely. I would have loved to see the forces of Gun fighting Eggman Empire, but they just did not bother. They said, no, we will not actually be having fun today. Thank you so much for offering. Can I make a planet that's obnoxiously orange? It does gotta be a little brown, because that's the color of dirt, baby, but I don't know, we can try. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. No, that's not big enough. Damn it. Damn it, that's what she said. Everyone was expecting me to make that joke, and they were right. That is what she said. Let me keep looking at some of this G1 art. I was looking at the artists who actually worked on some of these too. And apparently it was Mark Watts. I think that was it, or mayhaps someone else, but I think I see Mark Watts a lot. Wait, what if I did this? Circle tool. Nope, that's not a big enough circle. Bigger circle! Yeah, it works actually. More neutral. Add highlights. Maybe make it just hyper dark and hyper neutral. Man, I don't know fucking anything about color design. Also, I didn't see what Greg put. Cow so we can have from fresh milk? No, that's wildly unethical, Greg. Heck, even even if your party member agrees, I the DM hate that. Wildly hate that. So won't be happening. Let's try this as well. I love the running color spray for the airbrush in CSP. It just really works well for me for some reason. I don't know what it is. Oh, that's not big enough. I'm really just freestyling it right now, you know? Dun 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 dun. You wanna know something? I don't know if ground is really doing it for me. We could have like a sun over here. That might be one thing. I just don't feel like drawing dirt. I so hate to say. Not really into dirt right now. Also, what is... Ah, okay. I'll make sure. Okay, alrighty. Bum, 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 bum. I was like vibing out to Stardust speed, right? Honestly. They cannot lie. Is there a no? Okay. I'm just looking at some stuff here. See what I might have done in the past. Damn it. I wish it would just let you draw like a super big circle and move it around. But no, they want it to all fit on the screen. That's boring. What if my ideas are so big they can't fit on the screen? Huh, Dad? What then? Okay. Much bigger. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Like I said, I'm bad at color, but you know. Also, you know what? Let me get rid of this space stuff real quick. Because I might want to do some like mixing here. So we'll see, we'll see. Doing art is, you know, sometimes you're just feeling it out, sometimes it's just like I have no idea. Sometimes it's I have no idea what I'm doing. Nope. This one. That one. Add some more red. A darker red down here. Yeah! Yeah! I'm sorry I'm being a weirdo. When I back my way into some good color shenanigans, I'm like, ah, yeah, baby. That's the good stuff. An expression you can only get through doing art. Through doing art and just like constantly messing up until you get it good and you're like, oh. Now hold on a minute. You know what? I want to make this even bigger. Not that big. Okay, I know what I said. I'm retracting my statement. Big the cat. Other well-designed Sonic character. Yeah, I'll say it. Big the cat is more well thought out than most of the Force's background character. It's a low bar, but he hits it. You know, we appreciate him being here. Oh. Wrong tool. Now we just, yeah, start adding some white. gonna keep looking at some of this stuff, just because. Let's add some purple. Yeah. Yeah. This is starting to kind of look like a car commercial, but what is Transformers if not elaborate car commercials? That's definitely what the live action movies are, to some extent. Cartoons kind of fudge it a bit, because it's hard to consistently draw the same model car realistically as well. And then also they're usually not getting licensing for a bunch of different car models. So it's like, alright. I think we have a basis here. How much happening like here? Let me switch it back to white. I think we kind of overworked it a little bit. That's it. You're all getting purpled. Mass the mass purpling. Damn, Paul. Paul is right. Can't believe you would do that, Greg. Purple's a nice color. I like me a purple. Maybe I'm evil. Who knows? Could definitely be the case. What if this and then up? I mean, I do kind of need to hide the line art, but I'm also using the line art so that I can work around it. So it's like I'm literally spitting nonsense right now. Because that's kind of how the art's going, which is a very hippie thing to say, but I don't know what you want me to tell you. If anything, I might do it bigger. Brush size? No, and particle size. Hello? Well, now nothing's working? Something very clearly happened. Have I... Oh. Okay. Yes, I have seen what has happened. There we go. I am bad. I'm bad. Bad at art. Oh, that's nice, Greg. We do love getting presents. I was saying just the other day, though, getting presents can be hard. Like, for my sister, I know my sister typically wants very, like, designer things, but I'm not I know I'm not well versed enough in that, and that to some degree she just kind of appreciates getting a straight up, like, like, gift card more. You know what? If this color design here says pink, I can rock with some pink. Oh, my allergies are acting up. I should take allergy medicine too. Soon. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Honestly, this does. I'm kind of liking how this looks. I will not lie with you. I will not lie to you guys. I do think we should add some stuff on the fringes of that purple. Here, and then also some black. Because let's not lie to ourselves. As much as space can have pretty colors in it, it's also a lot. It's also a lot of inky black. So. 150. Hey, what does? Yeah, I'm unclear what that does. I'm unclear what the difference between, like, particle size and, what's it called? Brush size is in CSP. I do not know why those are different settings. I will be so for real right now. Also, to be clear, this blue we have in the background now, that does not count as black. That's just dark blue. That might be considered an off black, if anything, but definitely not black. Now we'll get to some true black. 300. We'll make these bigger because we definitely want them to be wait. Maybe we the scene is so bright that if I actually try to sprinkle in pitch black, it doesn't work as well, so we'll just go for a darker blue. Darker blue. I love me some high contrast black and white stuff, but you can't always go for it. Unfortunately. Oh, heck yeah! Wonder is a great gift. Heck, if you're like, I was thinking of, your nephew just likes video games and or being happy, I imagine he'll get a lot of value out of Wonder. Good pick, right? I should go back to Wonder at some point. They just texted me some stuff right now, which is slightly concerning. Honestly, as much as this is just fucking spray paint, I like it. But to help add to the whole spacey feel to it, filter, blur. We gotta up that blur a good bit. Maybe a bit, maybe all the way to 20. Yeah, now you're talking. You know what? Honestly, maybe we make it like 50. That's a lot, but yeah, I'm feeling like that's way more along what I was looking for. Also, right. Let's look. Yeah, like in terms of stuff for like this, I think that's fine. Definitely gonna need to add a lot of stars though. Well, also I was thinking this. Add some of this. That is not the color I meant. Let me try something. Nah, alright. Oh, you know what I can do? Brain blast. So I want it like a rim of light, right? But what I can do for that is just make a ring and then blur that. It's just that easy. Now we're talking. And then we're gonna put this as night BG, and then new layer for the stars, just so I can toggle the stars on and off as I feel like it. Actually, what do the stars look like in here? Yeah, I mean, they're white flecks. Probably blur them a bit, but actually, something else we can do, and we won't do them for all of these, but oh, definitely not that. Brush density, turn that really down. So what size are these particles? Oh, that size. Like this. Now we're talking. I might actually make the particles bigger. They were too big to start with, but now maybe a little too small. I don't want them to be like near invisible. Yeah, that's better. Also, doing this to Sonic Colors soundtrack is very fun. Honestly, I've seen enough people do this kind of stuff with like traditional paints that I know IRL it is not necessarily a hyper different, like, because right now I'm just kind of peppering my tablet. And I've seen IRL people just like flick their paintbrush. Which is fun. Unless Wild About the Stars over here. Erase the stars! Also, yeah. Little sparser. There we go. And then you can start putting them in places like we love a little twinkle design. It's hard to stay on the mark. If I was really doing Onsta service, I'd just make a constellation in the shape of Kiryu. But I don't know if I've left room on the canvas for that fridge-sized man, so I'm afraid we must skip it. To the loss of some Onsta points, no doubt. Paula, sing us a shanty. You got it, Paula. Honestly, I was thinking about this the other night, because I remember you asked something about this. Then I didn't see a shanty redeem. But just going with the classic. Yo ho ho, yo ho ho ho. Well, actually, I should stop music. I took my headphones off, but legitimately. I think I took my headphones off in one of the Sonic streams, because, you know, gay music, which I'm far less inclined to mute. Alright. Yo ho ho, yo ho ho ho. 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 Gather up all of the crew, it's time to ship out Binks's brew. See wind blows to where, who knows, the waves will be our guide. Over across the oceans wide. Oh, what? Damn it, do I need to relook up the lyrics from Ringston Blue? Third time's a charm. Binks's brew. Oh my god. Here it is. Yo ho ho, yo ho ho ho. 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 Gather up all of the crew, it's time to ship out Binks's brew. See wind blows to where, who knows, the waves will be our guide. Over across the ocean's tide, rays of sunshine far and wide. The birds they sing of cheerful things in circles passing by. Bid farewell to Weaver's town, say so long to Port Renown. Sing a song, it won't be long until we're casting off. Across the gold and silver seas, salty spray puts us at ease. Day and night to our delight, the voyage never ends. Yo ho ho, yo ho ho ho. 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 Gather up all of the crew, it's time to ship out Binks's brew. Pirates we eternally are challenging the seas with the waves. Ship beneath us as the bread waves with... Dang it. That's the wrong one to do the thing to. I do not count on the One Piece thing anymore. And I also need to stop saying third time's a charm. It never is. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Yo ho, yo ho ho. 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 Gather up all of the crew. It's time to ship out Binks's brew. Pie. Sea wind blows to where? Who knows? The waves will be our guide. Over across the ocean's tide, rays of sunshine far and wide. Birds they sing of cheerful things in circles passing by. Bid farewell to Weaver's town, say so long to Port Renown. Sing a song, it won't be long before we're casting off. Cross the gold and silver seas, the salty spray puts us at ease. Day and night to our delight, the voyage never ends. Yo ho, yo ho ho. 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 Gather up all of the crew, it's time to ship out Binks's brew. Pirates we eternally are challenging the seas. With the waves to rest our heads, ship beneath us as our beds. Hoist it high upon the mast, our jolly Roger flies. Somewhere in the endless sighs, stormy winds are blowing by. Waves are dancing, evening comes, it's time to sound the drums. But steady men may never fear. Tomorrow's skies are always clear, so stomp your feet and pound your chest till sunny days return. Yo ho ho, yo ho ho, yo ho, yo ho ho, yo ho, yo ho, yo ho, yo ho. This is why I'm always saying I gotta catch up on my shanty learning. I'm so piss poor at it. How many shantymen do you think back in the day would just be like, oh, make up the lyrics, make sure the crew doesn't get mad at them? Do you want to transfer myself? Also, I need a drink of water. That's what I need. It would help if I was ever hydrated at all. I'm trying to find... I mean, it is right here. I do have the reference. Yeah, like that. Okay, I think I have a good idea for that, actually. Night. Well, also, we'll do night stars. Do that. Alright. And then what we want to do is we want to get this. We want to get like a motion trail behind Onsta here. I'm just going to sample the color real quick. And then up. Oh, this is the eraser. This is not a pen. You know what? Yeah, just make it like that, and then I can use the eraser for, you know, erasing. Well, if you know, if that's the case, I can just. There we go. And then this. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I really feel like making like a smooth curve with a digital stylus is even harder than doing so in real life. And it is not to say that doing so in real life is easy. Oh my lord. They wanted to show I was right. It's just sometimes I really feel like it really feels like you're fighting the computer. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Because the way it kind of looked, it was like half erased trails. So then we just. Maybe I have the wrong idea about this. But just in that, what I should be doing is literally drawing out the individual trails and then half erasing them afterwards, as opposed to trying to carve it from one big trail. That might be the better play. Okay. Let me try, instead of doing those big swift motions, let me try more purposefully. Alright. Big purposeful stroke there. Alright, you with me? You with me? And then we'll fill it in. Art's hard, actually. Something I've decided. I feel like not a lot of people talk about. I do think I'm getting there. Oh, actually. Yeah, it's definitely getting there. Let me erase this top here. But honestly, we'll go hard eraser for that. And then go back to soft and do like 100. And must have been. Sometimes I'm really enamored by the stuff that was just like on, like, you know, box art, like the Transformers boxes, because very clearly, just trying to recreate digitally, someone worked hard on it, and it had they would have such aesthetics and etc., and yet people are still like, oh, it's not really art. It's not in a museum, and I'm like, really? That's what you think? Uh-huh. Okay. It's like, I don't know, man. I think a lot of these things ended up looking pretty good. Considering they didn't necessarily... Considering you probably could just drawn a rough sketch of the toy and you still would have bought it. And then you go back and you look at the actual art on the box, and it's like, oh, wow. I do think I'm on the right track here. I think we're getting there. Eventually. Eventually. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to color car on stuff. I might do that over the weekend. Cause you know. Making a robot look all shiny. Hard work. So I don't know if I have another like 3 hours to spend before I go to bed for work in the morning. I'm having... Honestly... Like, I might add more to make the car look, like, fancier and stuff, but... I am shocked how good it looks already. Not to toot my own horn necessarily, but... I do think I like I said, I stumbled backwards onto some half decent aesthetics here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we'll wrap up some stuff here and then maybe raid. If that sounds good to y'all who are gonna stay awake, have a good sleep, Greg. But anyone else who might still be staying up just because you're able to, please let me know who you might want me to raid. Just because obviously it'd be best if it's someone you might be inclined to stick around and watch after we raid. It's always better if, you know, after the raid people are actually watching said stream. Yeah. Definitely feel free to, Paula. I appreciate you coming on by and hanging. Honestly, I think all things considered, this is looking pretty good. So yeah, I might call it here and then put this out sometime this weekend when I have some free time to doodle. Ugh. Scratching my ear. But honestly, I keep saying that. This alone is like, oh, I did something. so I'm just happy with that. If I can be frank. And I'm not typically a good frank. Also, I just realized I did this whole thing where the hood of the car has these two little details on it, so I need to translate that here. Because I can't just be like, oh yeah, it's like, you know. She is this car, when it's like, well, clearly not. You're missing some decals there, brother. Where's my pride as an artist, not paying attention to detail? Alrighty. Let us see who there is to raid. Thanks y'all for bearing with me this week. I apologize. It was a little hectic at parts for sure, especially when I went off canceling a stream thanks to being wildly tired. But next week we'll be back to some Sonic, maybe some art, and then who knows? Who knows what lies in store after that? Also, how about we raid Chen? He's playing Balatro. Fucking, I'm in I'm in a Discord server, Barry's server in particular. And everyone shares Balatro memes. I've never played Balatro, so that's fun. Granted, half of them are just about being addicted to the game, so there is always that. I can understand that joke, but it's kind of funny. You're like, ah, yes. Hello, fellow kids. Well, so how about we check it out with Jen? Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Bye.